Oh, everybody's a fruit and nut cake. I had to pop upstairs to go and find a receptacle to start putting nuts and bolts into. So, again, I'm still down here, still making these videos. As you can tell, these 3 videos are pretty much all together in one, because one task, and I've managed to set the phone up and I've checked a couple of the videos and they seem to be okay, so I'm going to stick with those. Hitchhiking. You guys done much hitchhiking? I must say that I've done a little bit of hitchhiking in the past, and to tell you the truth, I don't think I would ever want to do it again. Needs and necessities and stuff must at the end of the day, but I don't have these needs to hitchhike anymore because I'm with the RAC. RAC, AA, does it really matter? But yes, it does matter. It does matter. I will tell a story about a Vauxhall Carlton estate which I had. Oh, my mother's car was on the back of that as well. Yes, I will revisit that one. But yes, hitchhiking. I think the first time I ever hitchhiked, I was 15 years old, and me and some buddies, my buddies from Inverness. I remember I had buddies up in Inverness, but yes, we were cycling around Loch Ness one day, and my mountain bike had been stolen only a couple of weeks before, so I borrowed my buddy's BMX. So my buddy had a racer, he had his BMX, and another buddy had, I think it's a cheap nasty Bianchi racer as well. But gotta remember, BMX. So we're talking 32 miles around Loch Ness one way, 34 miles back the other way. Now, the opposite direction, if you come out of Inverness and head up the Invermorrison Road, you eventually get to Fort Augustus, and if you come out of Fort Augustus, you start going back to the Doors Road, and coming out of Fort Augustus, it's like that. It's literally like almost 45 degrees for what seems about 2 miles. Coming into Fort Augustus down the Doors Road, yeah, on a racer, flat out like that, you were looking about 45-50 miles an hour, and it just kept on going and going and going and going. Anyway, we've come out of Fort Augustus, up the Doors Road, up like this, go about 5 or 6 miles, drill bits. Go about 5 or 6 miles out, and they're obviously a million miles ahead of me. You can just see them in the distance, and I just got pissed off. So they eventually stopped and waited for me, and I just says, "Well, fuck you," and he basically says, "Well, I'm having my bike back." I thought, "Well, there you go. There's your fucking bike. Have your bike." Yeah. So as soon as I said that, I thought, bugger it. Put my thumb out, yeah, and within 30 seconds there was a car coming past, yeah, it was 2 Australians, and they basically picked me up and they took me all the way back to Inverness. In fact, they even went to the Foyers Falls on their way in the journey. Milwaukee, can't beat it. Belongs to my buddy Rob, but he uses it here, I use it down here, everybody uses it. It's awesome. So they were the first people who told me a thing about a Queensland knot, where basically, you know, any vehicle which something was just hanging off, and use baling twine and rope. But yes, that was my first encounter with hitchhiking, and we actually, when I turned 17, so that was 2 years later, and I'd legally passed my second driving test. We took a trip out, we drove around, and we went to the spot, and he actually found his bike. And we took it back and we cleaned it all up and he put it back together, and I wouldn't even know if he still had it now. The guy's name was John Murdo McRae. Tried to get in contact with him a few years ago, but he's got his own life now, and he's a whiskey drinker, and he is what he is. But yes, went and got his bike back at the time. So hitchhiking. I was telling Stokesy about, because we were talking about Missy at the time, and he was saying what's the fastest you've gone. And we were talking motorbikes, and I think the first time I ever went fast was on a CBR 1000. And I think it had a top speed of about 168, and I was doing that up the M1. And yeah, the white lines in the road would start joining together. But car-wise, I think the fastest I've been is in Missy, and that was 147 on the GPS speedo. But the story which I came up with from Stokesy was this time that I was hitchhiking from Knutsford Services. I would have been about 19, I suppose. And is it the same guy? Yes. When I was at Knutsford Services, there was a guy hitchhiking as well, and we got to talking. And it turned out that we went to the same boarding school. Small world, small world. I mean, that's twice, but I've met somebody who went to the same boarding school as me. I can never can remember this guy's name. I mean, that memory is long ago. But yeah, I was talking to him for a little while, and there was a guy in the queue, because you queue to hitchhike. There was a guy in the queue ahead of me. He looked like a numpty, smelly rooster person. Some of you all know what that is. I'll probably mention them in another video. But yes, he was stood there and he had a sign, and it basically says, "I think I'm going to fucking die here." He must have been stood there for hours and hours and hours. Nobody was picking anybody up. But I had a motorbike helmet with me. I think it was because my Honda Super Dream, 400N Super Dream, had died, and I dumped it in a hedge somewhere, and I was just hitchhiking back towards Bristol at the time, or maybe even Plymouth to see my brother, one or the other. But this guy pulls over. He sees that I've got my helmet with me, and he's on a BMW R90. You know, the ones with the engine's out the side. It looks like a loaf of bread with two toilet rolls. Well, he basically had a sidecar unit, which was just a tin bath, literally a tin bath. So, fucker it, why not? So we're going down the M6 now, and he's probably doing motorway speeds about 65, 70, 75. But I can guarantee you that is the fastest I've ever been in my life. I mean, I was holding on for dear life. Yeah. Fastest I've ever gone going slow. But yeah, I don't want to lose that. That's for the guy's F1 wheels. That's scrap metal. But yes, I wouldn't recommend hitchhiking to anybody. Don't do it. I'm going to get back to this tidying up, and I'm going to have a thought on what story I'd like to tell next. Might even be the Vauxhall Carlton yet, because I mean that's got a few little stories to it. Especially with my mother's car, which I decided to set fire to on the bypass instead of repairing. Luckily, I don't speak to my mother anymore. But yes, please like, share, and subscribe. Yeah. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video. Well, I'm going to make a list first, and I'm just going to make a list of memories, and I'm going to put up a video of this list, me basically reading it out. And if anybody specifically wants to hear a story from any of these videos, then I will prioritize making a video specifically on that. Right, I'm going to get back to cleaning up. Please like, share, and subscribe. And later, dudes.